In 1996, another important Supreme Court decision opened the door to bigger profits for the credit card industry and a raft of new complaints from their customers. That decision, Smiley versus Citibank, much like the Marquette decision before it, lifted state restrictions, this time on the fees that credit card banks could charge.
We were working this thing here for a good cause, free market pricing.
Duncan McDonald was one of the lawyers who worked on the Smiley case.
The late fees that were common across the industry up until Smiley were in the $5 and the $10 range. And the economic thinking was that there had to be flexibility to allow up to $15. But when Smiley came along and took the lid off it, it went from 5 to 10 to 15 to 29, and recently it's gone up to 39. I would guess that it's probably going to go up to $50 a year and a half from now. I certainly didn't imagine that someday we might have ended up creating a Frankenstein.
Frankenstein? What do you mean, Frankenstein?
I look at that and I say to myself, is $50 a fair fee, plus a 25% interest rate and all these other fees that are thrown on, for folks who are probably not that risky? Is that fair? I look at it and I say to myself, there's the Frankenstein. We've created something that has to be dealt with.
Since Smiley, credit card companies have doubled the amount of revenue they generate from fees. Late fees, over-the-limit fees, return check fees, and the like.
Fee income has gone up much, much faster than interest income in the business.
So the fees are meant as a penalty to make sure that you pay on time, or are they a profit stream?
Well, they really have become a profit stream. It's not just the fees that they charge, even though they're 3 and 4 times higher than they were less than 10 years ago. That's the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the penalty that's inflicted on consumers with these situations where they make a late payment. It's the penalty interest rate that really does the damage. Your interest rate could double overnight.
But just so I understand, the interest rates are not regulated. They can change the interest rate relationship that you have with them with 15 days notice. So that's a major source of profit for them. And the fees are now no longer regulated.
That's exactly right. It's it's wide open. We're beginning to see banks do all this tweaking, where they're changing the interest rates and raising fees, adding new fees, all kinds of way they calculate interest, setting the due dates on a Sunday and a holiday on the hopes that maybe you'll trip up and get a payment in late. It's become a very anti-consumer marketplace.
Even the industry's top lobbyist is concerned.
I think it would be short-sighted for a credit card company to have fees that would make somebody angry, because they're likely to lose that customer. And I think it's going to cost them more to replace that customer than they're likely to get out of the fee.
You have bankers who've skyrocketed rates from 14% to 25% and $40 late fees and bad check fees and so on that fall on the shoulders of the less well-off. Yes, there's something bad has happened.
So we need regulation.
Well, we have regulation. We have regulation already. The control of the currency regulates all the national banks.